Hello and welcome back to Daily Dose of Egyptian. Today we continue on with the tale of the Shipwrecked Sailor, columns 10 and 11. We begin. Mek ref en ien em cheteb taen pechen su. So we start out with this introductory particle, mek. Look. And ref here is an enclitic particle, which refers back to what previously occurred. In this case, that they've arrived in Egypt past Bigay Island. Literally, ref means with regard to or with respect to it being that what happened before. But we can't really indicate that in English without disrupting the narrative. So generally, it's best to leave untranslated. And then we, this being a first person plural dependent pronoun, have reached. So en here is actually a stative, thus making this a subject state of construction of a verb of motion, so it's the old perfective. So we have reached. You'll also note this n here is both an abnormal writing of the traditional first-person plural suffix of the stative, which is win, and that it was also clearly forgotten and thus pushed off to the side and added later. Now, there's a couple more examples of this rather odd writing of the first-person plural stative, which I've put here. So the first is from the pyramid texts. So, he calls us. Let us go and be united to him, with the first-person plural stative in this text being written with the new part. Similarly, in Papyrus Turin 54003, which is in early Middle Egyptian magical text, we have shine, that we shall see entirely, with the first-person plural suffix here being written un, rather than n as we have here. And thus it's only a little bit off from what we would expect, where it doesn't have the dual strokes. Finally, from the 18th dynasty, we have from the temple inscriptions at Dar el-Bahri from Hatshepsut, we have this inscription here. So it is, this your daughter, Hatshepsut, who is joined with Amun, may she live. We are happy, or we are satisfied with her in life and in peace, or in peaceful life. So this construction is in this specific is a circumstantial sejamef plus stative, which is not very often used, but still an interesting construction nonetheless. And to learn more about that construction, which I recommend you do, go to Allen's Middle Egyptian Grammar 20.17. So that being pushed off to the side, so we have arrived in peace. Our land, we have reached it. So right off the bat, you should expect that this pechen is a bit strange. And really there's three solutions to what this pechen is. The first is that this is a perfective sejamef, which is a narrative verbal form, really the main narrative verbal form in Old Egyptian, though we wouldn't really expect it here. And it's been argued by some, including Allen, that there are other perfective sejamefs in this text, but I'm not too convinced of that. I think it's a bit dubious. So I'm not a big fan of taking this as a perfective sejamef. So the second solution is that it's another odd stative, which is very possible because of this fronting of Ta'en, our land. And thirdly, this could be a simple miswriting of pech n, which would then make this Ta'en a topicalized element. And for topicalization, you can go to Allen, second edition, 18.4. Now, I personally favor the emendation to pechenen, because we have pechenen attested many other times in this text. However, if you don't want to amend, then taking this as a stative with the same strange ending as we have with EE is very possible.